Now, from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now, heading right on into our Monday evening. And again, hopefully your Monday afternoon went well. We did have a little bit of active weather. In fact, even heading now into the early evening, we continue to have some active weather out there. So far, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, 2 in Dallas County, and one of those also kind of ventured up into parts of Collin County as well. Of course, we were here live on the air with you. Nothing overly severe, but just kind of some low wind, severe level, kind of pulse severe type activity late this afternoon. Heading into the evening, some scattered rain and storms remain in the forecast, so keep that in mind for any kind of evening plans. Here in the Metroplex, we're just going to put it at about 50-50. I think probably more than likely 60% of you are going to remain dry. Temperatures easing down through the 70s. And then I tell you what, we've got a drier forecast compared to the last week and a half or so, but we do have another fairly significant opportunity of rainstorms and what appears to be severe weather showing up. When is that? We'll talk about that again coming up as well. But this is this afternoon, right? This is just this afternoon. Who saw rain? And again, look at some of these rainfall totals here. Again, most of you did not see any rain whatsoever, but we've got this little washed out surface boundary just kind of snaking through the area. So that's why you kind of see this linear area that developed as we went through the afternoon. But again, with some of the slow movement down to the southwest, some locations down in Hamilton County have already picked up over 2 inches of rain. Even locally here in the Metroplex, the cell that moved through the Metroplex, it had its motor up and going. It was moving at about 35 miles per hour. But again, some locations, even here locally in the Metroplex, especially northeastern Dallas County, picked up over 1.5 inches of rain. So here's a different perspective. This is radar now here as we're heading into the early evening. Scattered activity you can see continues southwest, scattered activity continues southeast, and then we kind of have that broken line along this week's surface boundary that does extend off to the northeast. This will be the theme as we go through the evening. Once we get past sunset, in fact, truly the further we get past sunset, a lot of this activity will begin to dry up. And then simply put, once this round is done, as we get into tomorrow, Tuesday, it's looking relatively dry. There may be a low wind opportunity of a few storms around on Wednesday. We'll talk about that. And then truly, it's this upcoming Friday with a fairly strong cold front that's going to be coming in as well. You can also see all the moisture associated, just this thick tropical moisture that continues to lift through the area. But I tell you what, behind this boundary, the one thing you'll notice going forward in time, beginning tomorrow, the dew points, the humidity numbers, they will come down, and in fact it's not going to be quite as muggy, quite as sticky for a couple of days as well. Again, more on that coming up as well. But again, no real organized opportunity of severe weather as we go through the evening. Again, could we have a strong storm? Could we have a pulse severe storm, a storm that briefly comes up to severe levels? It's not impossible, but again, organized severe weather, the good news, not in the forecast. So here's your evening. Again, you can see scattered activity basically near that washed out surface boundary. But again, once we get past sunset, there it is. The activity begins to wane. Overnight, we're basically quiet. Here we go. Moving into your Tuesday, we're basically quiet. And then even as we go through Wednesday, basically quiet. On Wednesday, we'll be watching some activity from the northwest that may try and scoot down into our area by late day. There's no real guarantee on that, but I have put in a 20% opportunity on Wednesday. Otherwise, rainfall going forward, right over the next 7 days, the next more likely opportunity of rain, it's going to be right there. You saw it basically show up on the map. That's going to be for this upcoming Friday as a cold front moves through, line of storms moving through. Some locations could pick up an additional inch of rain on Friday. Again, I'll show you that on the 12-day coming up. Otherwise, as we go through the overnight, generally 60s for overnight lows, and again, the humidity dropping behind that boundary as well. Again, not quite as oppressive out the door tomorrow morning. Overnight rain chances 20 to 30% opportunities. Again, most of this ending, like I mentioned, as we get a little bit closer to sunset. Then as we go through tomorrow, Tuesday, it's another day where temperatures, we'll just call these very warm, a lot of 80s around the area. But again, similar story, just tomorrow, not quite as humid. Definitely enjoy it because as we know in May, it does not last very long in North Texas. And take a look at these morning lows, even Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, more in the way of 60s around the area. And then as we go through your Wednesday, more in the way of 80s, another very warm afternoon. So no live cam here. I apologize. The storm, it actually knocked that live cam out temporarily. So that's why you have that background there. So again, 80s going forward. There's kind of that low end opportunity of maybe a couple showers around on Wednesday coming in from the northwest. We'll watch that. Likely rain and storm chances on Friday. Severe weather looks possible. And then look at that, maybe a 79 by this upcoming Sunday.